This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. Hi, this is Joe. So I want to make sure everyone knows I've changed the channel handle as well as the title of the name of the channel. I had this impersonator. We got him eliminated. But just to prevent anything like that happen again, I wanted to make sure I just switch things to be a little bit more personal. And I think it represents a little bit more about my business as well as, my name, which it's me. All right. So anyway, I want to make sure I let, the next couple of videos, I'm going to let everyone know that just at the start. Okay. So we're going to talk about a specific trade setup that took place a few days ago. And what we're going to look at MACD, we're going to look at ADX, and we're going to look at RSI and how they all kind of play a role, especially when there might be some signs where it's not completely crystal clear on one of those indicators. All right. So I'm going to show you my thought process at least and how I would go about that. And then we're going to look at the entry side of the equation and when it looks confusing and how to maybe clarify that as well. All right. So some good tidbits in this, I think. Now, if you want to learn more about these setups, I would suggest starting with the book, and you can click the link in the description to find out more. Also, if you do enjoy this content, please hit that like button and also subscribe. Okay, so I've got the chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, DIA, all right? And I've got a 30-minute chart in the bottom left, a 5-minute chart in the bottom right, a 1-minute chart in the upper right, and then another 5-minute on the in the upper left. And the 5-minute is the key time frame here. It's the middle time frame. It's the one we're kind of operating the signals off of. And then we look up and we look down. We look down to refine our entry, and we look up to make sure we've got room in the trade and that we're operating within the scope of a pretty decent move on the higher time frame. All right. So if you notice on the so this is really where we're going to take a hard look. We get this violent, strong decline off the open. This move, the gaps down, gets the MACD really going to the downside, gets a strong ADX reading, big volume associated with it. And then we start ratcheting our way back up towards the 18, which is declining below the 40. Okay. Now, this is if you think about it, we got the moving averages declining. They're operating pretty parallel. All right. We've got a massive strength in the ADX, and I think even though there's a gap associated with it, I think this is showing, giving us a real good feel for what's taking place here that morning. And then again, the volume pattern also on the way back up, you can see the volume was declining. All right. Now, I'll point out one other thing. If we go over and look at what was going on the 30-minute chart, we had a move to the downside, and then we rallied up to the 18, which was declining below the 40. Right? And then we got this move to the downside. Now that gap down is this gap down here. Okay. So we're operating within this, again, within the scope of a downtrend on the higher time frame, the upper time frame. And it's really operating off a pinch play with momentum associated with the ADX. Okay. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just a 2 to 4 bar move. It can be a full length swing when we have something like this. So we've got a good look here. All right, we've got a real good look here. Now, when we start to refine what we're looking at a little bit, okay, we can look at a couple things. First of all, we expand this chart. We can see that when we moved up, we did give a pinch sell here, but it was pretty far away from the 18. I really don't like those, especially after a gap down. I'm not a big fan. If you're trading intraday, that's one thing. Just keep that in mind. If you get a signal and it's too far away from the 18 still. So what I would tell you is when I say it's too far away, the easy way to think about it is if I get in that trade and I get stopped out and it's still below the 18. Then it's too far away. So in other words, if there's room for that to happen like it did in this trade, then we don't want to take it. All right. We want to do it close enough so that if we get a move back up, it actually takes out the 18 as well. All right. Now, in this case, we noticed we had that, but then it came down and it did another rally up, and we got a little tiny bit of a crossover. All right. Now, I kind of look at this and it doesn't bother me that much. I know some people would just say, okay, I'm not doing this trade. We got a crossover signal. I'm kind of looking at it like we had a big gap down. All right, it's causing this to accelerate to the downside, and now we're getting our first rally. So to me, it's more like a zero line reversal that's just kind of a little far away from it, simply because of the gap down. All right, so that's sort of how I'm looking at that, but it does give a little bit of a question mark to it. So I'm looking at the ADX. ADX has given me a lot of confidence in this trade. Like this has a real good look to it. The other thing that's given me a lot of confidence is that the 18 is below the 40, and they're both moving, and it's not like 18 is accelerating at a big rate faster than the 40. I think from that standpoint, this is pretty attractive. Now, I do want to point out something else. If we look at what's taken place on the upper left chart, all right, let's just zero in on this for a second. So this is the move to the downside. We went from a new high in the swing chart. We went from a new high to a new low. So that's a bear alert to the downside. And then we rallied back up at made a lower high versus the prior peak, right? So we've gone a long way to turn this trend and doing another continuation to the downside after an ABC back to the upside, okay? So when we look at it from that standpoint, it's like the trend is still intact and we're getting ready to make another move. I don't know that I need the confirmation of a move to the downside because we're still operating off of a bigger downtrend. This never really reversed the trend. It just formed an ABC. So you want to look at that and make sure that that's what's happening. Like if this were making a true reversal in the trend, if we had formed what I would consider to be a true reversal, then I would say that we probably need to look at this a little bit differently. So we've got that in our favor. Now the other thing that we've got, especially with what's taking place in MACD, is looking at what's taking place here. If RSI has moved up and it's given this little head and shoulders top pattern formed with the RSI's 5 and RSI 20, but one below and one above, right? So we've got that in our favor. That's a neat little signal. A lot of times the RSI, especially the shorter term one, will form in three different, it'll make three peaks in the pattern. It can be two. But when they're small like this, it can be three. And so it's just kind of something to be on the lookout for. But we want to use that as confirmation when we have maybe a little bit of a questionable situation developing here right at the 18. We've got a little overrun. We're thinking, overrun, should I pass on this trade? Well, it looks really good in the RSI. It looks really good in the ADX. From a weight of the evidence standpoint, we've got good looking moving averages. We've got a good looking bigger picture pattern. To me, it's a go. It's a go. I think you can take this trade despite the fact that you got a little bit of overrun. All right. So that's how I would think about this. Now, when we look at the entry side, now the 1 minute chart is how we're looking at this. I traded the 5 minute and the 1 minute a long time. So that's why when I'm looking at intradays, if I were just going to trade intraday and that was it, I would say I would probably be using this sort of setup, 30 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. I think you get a lot of setups in the morning, and you can get some in the afternoon, but you can get a decent amount in the morning. And it normally happens right about this time. You notice right around 10 to 11 o'clock. It's usually anywhere between 10 o'clock and say 10:45 is where you'll get some form of a setup like this. And the stocks that are either moving big down or big up, or if you look at the market indices, ETFs and stuff like that. All right, so we know we've got a pretty decent looking pattern here, right? We've got a good enough setup in place. Now, what is taking place here, I think, is really interesting because we've made this move and we've formed sort of an ABC. We got these moving averages. Now, one of the things that I've been talking a little bit about is to clarify things a little bit. If the 40 is rising and the 18 is rising, I'm pretty reluctant to put on to call any kind of a signal to the downside. Now we've got overrun here, so we know we're not taking any kind of a first signal anyway. But in this case, it's kind of sloppy. Like, what is the signal? What are we actually looking for? We've gotten a crossover down here, and then it kind of went in the zone and then came out, and then came back down and went back through the moving averages, but they were both rising at that point. So I would view that as a no-go for me. I'm not really interested in shorting a break of the 40 when both of these lines are rising. So I'm looking for a point where the moving averages aren't rising anymore, or at least one of the two are not. And if you notice, the 18 starts to roll over here. Right as we cross the 40 at this point, we no longer have a rising 18. This no longer qualifies as an uptrend. All right, through this period, I would say up until about this point where these lines are rising, all right, the trend is positive on this time frame. If we have a positive trend on this time frame, I would say it's a no-go. If it's a neutral trend, that's really where we want to do it. All right. Now, I've been talking about this, trading on the right side of the curve, and the curve is the moving averages. If we have both moving averages rising, then I think you're a little too early. All right. Now, you want to draw your trend lines if you got them and all that, but this is kind of a simple way. You want to look at the moving averages. You can see there's no strength in the buyers, so we definitely should be looking at this trade based on what we're seeing in the ADX. But because this overran and it's spending a lot of time above the zero line, we've got to be a little bit careful about jumping in a little bit early. And I'm just kind of giving you a way of kind of working that out. If these moving averages are rising, once this starts to decline, you can see we can take that decline or that break of the 40. It coincides with this trend line break here. All right. So we get that all happening at the same time where we break the trend line, we break the 40, and the 18 is no longer rising. So I think from that standpoint, that's really the trigger. And I just thought it was real important to go over that in a situation where it might feel like it's confusing, or you feel like, well, which one of these signals to the downside should I be taking? I think this will really help. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll see you next time.